Hello, my name is Connie Amari, and I am the author of Sacred Journey to Ladyhood, a woman's guide through her rites of passage. My book is about uplifting women of all ages in America. Yet, time and time again, I see that we women often repeat the same behaviors over and over again, which sabotage our ability to be uplifted and empowered. Today we're going to talk about just a few of those things that we women do to one another to prohibit our ability to progress. Sabotaging topic number 1, gossip. Ladies, let's face it, we all like a good story. I, for one, like a good story as well as the next person. But when you talk about someone by sharing hurtful information or things that you know that they don't want you to share about them, that's considered gossip, and it's hurtful and it's wrong to the other person. Let's face it, we women are emotional creatures. We get very fixated when things are said about us that are not healthy. So why do we do it to one another? Sometimes we say we do things because we want to be in the know, and we also say that we do things because we're concerned for the next person. But in reality, we're really just gossiping, and that's unhealthy. Don't try to pretend that you're just gossiping because you're concerned. You really want to let a person know what's going on so that they can look out for this person, so that they can reach out to this person, so that they can show concern for this person. Because in reality, all you're really doing is just sharing something about someone else to make you feel good about yourself. Now, one last thing I want to let you know about gossip. Whenever you open yourself up to talk about other people and hurt other people, it's going to come back on you. And trust me, it's hurtful. So limit your gossip and be on the way to self-empowering yourself and women alike. Sabotaging topic number 2, jealousy. Ladies, let's admit it. We all want what someone else has from time to time, but there is a healthy and an unhealthy way to deal with our wants. The healthy way is just to experience envy. Envy means to desire to have what another person has. For instance, if your best friend is pregnant and gets pregnant during the time that you're trying to conceive, you're going to be envious because she has what you want. That is normal, and it can be healthy. It can be healthy because you can really realize what you need to do to get to the place that you can achieve your goals and have them met. But first you have to admit that you're envious, at least to yourself first. Jealousy, on the other hand, is negative. It is a malicious attempt to bring harm to another person because that person has what you want. For instance, if you don't show up to your best friend's baby shower or the hospital when she calls you while she's in delivery, that's an act of jealousy, and it's negative and it's counterproductive to yourself. By the way, it even looks bad. And you have to remember that whatever is meant for you to have in your life will be given for you at that time. So there's no need for you to be jealous of anybody else for having what you want. Besides, if you focus less on other people for having what you want and more on yourself, then maybe you can move yourself in direction to get your needs met. So remember this the next time a person has what you want. Try as much as possible to acknowledge your envy, but not to respond with jealous ideologies. Sabotaging topic number 3, feeling threatened. I believe feeling threatened stems from what I like to call the ers and the est. The ers are when we feel like we have to be prettier, sexier, smarter, richer than the other person. After a while, when we've achieved all the ers we can achieve, then we go for the est. We want to be the prettiest, the sexiest, the smartest, and the richest. It kind of stems from the overall power dynamic. But what happens is the more we move up, the less satisfied we become, and the more we have to trample on the next person who is giving us any level of competition. This is often seen when women compete for things like their careers, marriages, babies. Basically, we don't support one another because we feel threatened by the success and the uplifted of the next woman. It kind of makes sense when we think about the historical context. Anytime you have a group of marginalized people who have had to fight extensively for them to receive any level of success, there is always the threat that that may be taken away. When we as women threaten other women by taking away the success that they have achieved, that often comes as a feeling of discomfort for one another. But what we fail to realize is if we feel less threatened by one another and more motivated to assist one another, we can receive the benefits as well. So become less fixated on trying to bring one another down, and let's be more motivated to bring one another up. Sabotaging topic number 4, unhealthy relationship boundaries. Let's face it, ladies, we've all been in relationships that have some level of unhealthiness about them. That's just normal. But when a relationship is primarily fixated on things that are unhealthy for one or both of the parties, then that's when an unhealthy relationship boundary relationship exists. Relationships should be built off of respect and integrity. That means that I treat you in the same way that I would want you to treat me. Honesty and authenticity are also important. Nothing will exist if it is based off of something that is not truth. So that same goes for the relationships that you share with one another. It's also important to remember not to take advantage of a friendship. Just because you're friends doesn't mean that I have the right to say whatever I want to say to you, or just come in your house and do what I want to do without taking your feelings into consideration. And also, healthy relationships acknowledge one another's own shortcomings. If I know that I'm weak in something and my friend draws it to my attention, rather than me getting upset at her, I should take an honest look at myself. After all, pride doesn't get anybody anywhere in the relationship domains. Sabotaging topic number 5, fighting for men. Ladies, if I see another reality show of y'all getting up there fighting other women for the sake of a man, I think I'm just gonna scream. But the reason why it's so popular on the reality shows, because it's such in high demand, is because in reality, we're doing it every day in our everyday lives. It's just not that serious. Besides, if a man really wants to be with you, he's not going to put you in the type of situation that's going to make you have to fight over him like that. By the way, men really like to be with ladies, not vicious hyenas who don't know how to control their tempers. And for the record, there's a lot of women who tend to go only for men who are in committed relationships. But just want you to know that 90% of those men never even leave their wives for the mistress. And finally, I don't want you to think that just because you weren't the one that made the commitment before God to honor and respect another woman doesn't excuse you from your moral responsibility to do so. And that concludes our topics for things that women do to sabotage the upliftment of other women. If you would like to know more about becoming an empowered woman, please visit me at connieamari.com.